What's going on, guys? Ishin here. We are at F&S Motorsports today. As you can tell, there's a lot of Evos sitting outside. Got the 8, got the 10. Don't know what that is. DSM Evo 8. James actually finished rebuilding the shop car, so we are gonna put it on dyno and see what kind of numbers it makes. It's got a new turbo and it's got a few goodies here and there, so we'll tune the thing on the dyno, make some good numbers and see where it goes.
Hey! Push the stop.
So last time I did a video on F&S Motorsports shop car, it was at the track. And the transfer case was basically leaking because the housing broke in half. And it's sitting right here.
So we found out what happened in the trans is actually a bearing failure, an input shaft bearing failure.
Yeah.
If you hear in the video, it sounds like a big gunshot, right?
Yeah.
So what it was the input shaft bearing went into the transmission and tried to stop the transmission at like 9,000 RPM. Then it basically tried to lock up the clutch exploded, the trans exploded. There's basically nothing salvageable out of the transmission.
Yeah, it's basically just
both case halves are cracked. Like it was garbage. Right. So got another core, and then got Liberty hooked me up on another transmission for the car, and then put another clutch in it, another one of our like PTT clutches, and then we got the car back out to the track. We went to you might have seen it. It was on 1320.
Yeah, no, that was a great video.
We had the grudge race with Jason Flesher. Yeah. That race, we broke a throttle cable. So brought it back, and then we found out, like, due to the Kia head, that we were kind of like off on compression a little bit, right? Because of the bigger chamber. Yeah. So we decided while it was down, Liberty wanted to see the trans again just to make sure everything was okay, and they wanted to replace the input shaft bearings from standard to cylindrical. So they changed the whole style of the bearing. So while they had that, we figured why not, take some time, kind of relax from the chaos of the race car for a bit.
Right. I'm gonna walk over to the car, maybe, yeah, because I know it's got bigger turbo now too.
Yeah. Then the shop's invest. It's kind of like a spur of the moment, kind of like Dyno did, I guess.
That's how it is. But you know what? This shop gets shit done because I mean, look at all the cars that's not here today because this was packed.
Yeah.
All right.
So Robert at FP sent us over a 4580, which is an 80 mil turbo. We had a 72 mil prior, but it's a smaller compressor exducer. Yeah. So this is just a whole different league of turbo. So now we're just trying to dial it in. Jeff Bush gave me some advice on setting up the wastegate and gave me some advice on what I should look for. First pull, it did exactly what he told me it was going to do. So now we're just going to take the wastegate off, pull some wastegate spring out of it. On wastegate, on every turbo except this one, the car has made 25 to 28 PSI. It made almost 50 at 8,200 RPM, and it didn't stop climbing. So we didn't see any taper. I let out of the pole just because it was a lot of boost to try to like dial in around. Yeah. I'd rather try to dial it in around 25, 30, and then add boost as we go, rather than trying to fight it at 50 pounds. So.
Right. And this is the first time the motor is running, really?
Yeah. It fired up yesterday, and then did the heat cycle, did our break-in process, put it on the dyno, broke it in on the rings. Yeah. Now we're throwing power at it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we'll see how it goes. Did you take the spring out already, or are you working on that? So we're gonna take the spring out. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you don't want to be touching that.
It's still a little warm, so letting it cool down for a minute. Yeah. Take the wastegate off. We'll take it apart. We'll see what springs are in it. See if we can get it down to what we want to get it to. and then put it back together and put it back on the car and then make another hit, see what it does.
Yeah, yeah, cool.
Yep.
All right, so that's the update. We'll see how he does on the dyno today.
Yeah.
In your drone. Got some stuff.
Yeah, 40-ish.
Damn.
Is that 50?
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, a little better.
So the exhaust on the car being right behind the turbo angling down is actually angling right at the speed sensor on the front roller, which is freaking out the dyno. So it's telling us it's making 2,000 horsepower, but I know, yeah, very inaccurate.
What's your butt dyno tell you though?
Well, I know it's making more horsepower than it was on the 72. Yeah. I would guess over 1,000, but I don't know. Yeah. What we may have to do is go over to another, go over to BCP's dyno.
You can change the sensor position?
We're going to clean it up and we're going to change it and see if it still does it. Yeah. But it did it, remember it did it on James Baldwin's car too. Oh, so really short exhaust cars that go right by the sensor cause the dyno to freak out.
Makes sense.
So
is that it pretty much?
I guess. Unless you want to go for a ride.
So that's... Can we? Just do 2 pulls.
Come on.
One there, one back.
No, just take down handbrake. Don't take down all. That's stupid.
Yeah, you probably should.
Yeah.
Alright, so because the dyno is freaking out,
because the speed sensor is located right in here and the exhaust is dumping right onto the speed sensor,
we don't get real horsepower numbers. So what we're gonna do is actually take this thing on the streets and butt dyno it, and I'll give you an idea of how fast this thing is. And it doesn't have any headlights, no bumper, no plate. So we're gonna take this to Mexico, not in the US.
It's the car is just acting funny because of the way it's set up. sweet.
Did you kill it or you died?
I killed it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Now it's not starting.
Let me see. Pop the breaker. It's alright.
You gonna push it or you gonna fix it?
Who the fuck out?
I thought it was the tail shaft of your transfer case.
We lost the tail light.
Hey, how'd that feel?
I'm glad Nico donated his tail lights just so we could do this.
This thing is retarded.
Yeah, I saw that. Everybody on this side of the block is outside of their house.
Dude,
Shit you not.
Bunch of old people just poured out of the
There's
house.
like
What
6
the
people like all pissed off.
This thing is ridiculous. Sounds like a spaceship.
Hey, let's push it so we don't get.
Yeah.
All hands on deck!
Yeah, so I mean, this car is as illegal as it can be right now. No plate, big parachute on the back, no headlights, no bumper, exposed turbo and dry sump right there. So we didn't, you know, obviously we're not gonna do anything stupid on the streets, but we did make one pull. Just driving around, cruising around, I felt how aggressive the clutch is. I mean, it's popping everywhere. It's basically impossible to drive on the streets. It's basically a straight line drag racing car. So that was a good experience.
It ripped the taillight out of the back of the car.
Yeah.
Oh, it was actually mounted?
Yeah, it was. There was two. Was it? It uses nuts.
Yeah,
There was a screw in here, and it
In
ripped it
there.
out.
Like it ripped the tail light out.
Are we sure we even put it in there at the beginning?
Yeah, they were both in
Pretty
there.
sure.
Yeah, it's just
Because we bolted.
Mounted right there.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I saw your taillights, they were just, it literally looked, well I only saw one. I was like, wait, did a bike pass him? Is what I was like thinking, and I'm like, oh, his fucking taillights in the road. And at first it was hanging out. I don't know if it spit something out of the pan or some shit. I'm like, oh my god, what is that?
Yes.
Well, you've been in the car before, right?
No, this is the first time.
Oh.
First time.
So you and I are the only people here that can justify how retarded this car actually is.
Yeah.
Once it lift off.
And we won't be able to take this thing out for a while.
Yeah.
Nah, do it again right now.
I don't feel like going to jail. And I don't feel like an angry mob fucking like coming over here to like.
There's probably a mob blocking the street right now. They probably put up a roadblock.
No, they're pretty pissed off. Yeah.